Salve discipuli. This English to Latin practice video will take you through a very large number of practice sentences, and it will take you through sentences that involve all three tenses, the present perfect and imperfect. It is quite long. You don't have to do all of it at once, but you really should try and figure out each sentence translation, pause the video to give yourself time to do that before checking your answer. Remember that it's absolutely no help to you at all if you just have the correct answer written down on your page. That doesn't actually teach you anything at all. So, to get started, in this English to Latin practice section, you need to identify each noun as singular or plural. You'll also need to figure out who's doing what, and tell the difference between a subject nominative case doing the verb and an accusative object with the verb happening to it. So, Quintus sees the slave, Quintus sees the slave. In both of these sentences, Quintus will be nominative case because he's doing the verb, and the slave or the slaves will be accusative case because the verb sees is happening to them. However, slaves is plural, but this will be accusative plural, not nominative plural. Pause the video, work it out. So, sentence number 1, Quintus servum videt. Servum is accusative singular. Second sentence, Quintus servos videt. Servos is accusative plural. Metella hears the girls plural. Metella hears the girl singular. So, girls is plural, girls singular, but they're both accusative. The verb hears is happening to them. So pause the video. So, metella puellas, that's plural accusative, audit. Metella puellam, that's singular accusative, audit. The merchant has a ship, the merchant has ships. So ship is singular, ships is plural. Pause the video. So, mercator navem habet, navem being accusative singular, mercator naves habet, naves being accusative plural. If you're not sure which declension a noun belongs to and which set of endings it's going to follow, make sure you take a look at the topic of declension, and especially the term 4 booklet, pages 3 and 4, which takes you through the accusative plural. The crowd enters the gates, the crowd enters the gate. Gates being plural, gate plural and accusative, gate being singular and accusative. Pause the video. So, turba portas intrat, portas being accusative and plural, turba portam intrat, portam being accusative and singular. As always, vocabulary is very important. You can't learn language very well without learning vocabulary. It's important that you go through and complete those 1 to 100 challenges. So, all of the verbs on this page are present tense. You're not seeing any ba, and you're not seeing any v, any wit or werunt endings. The next page is similar. Same format, just with a bit more variation. Figure out each noun as singular or plural, and double check your answer. Double check all of the pieces that you've put in there, what the case is, and whether they're singular or plural, after you have written your answer down. So, the gladiator has a sword. The gladiators, plural, have swords, plural. The word for a sword, by the way, is gladius. Pause the video. Gladiator gladium habet. Gladiatores gladios habet. Habent. The verb is now habent because the subject gladiatores is now plural. The boys chase the thief, the boys chase the thieves. Pause the video. Pueri furem agitant, with the nt ending because the verb is being done by plural boys. Pueri fures agitant, with the nt ending because the boys, plural, are doing it. The slave girl buys food and wine. The slave girls, plural, buy food and wine. Pause the video. And the answer, Ancilla cibum et aquam emit. So one slave girl, so we've got the singular version of this Ancilla and the singular version of emit. Ancillae cibum et aquam emunt, with the plural Ancillae and the plural emunt. Moving along, the messenger calls the farmer, the messenger calls the farmers, plural. Pause the video. Nuntius agricolam vocat, with the singular farmer. Nuntius agricolas vocat, with plural farmers. Note that we keep the verb the same because it's whether the doer of the verb is singular or plural, not the object of the verb. The next page is focusing more on the verb endings. So an O verb ending tells you I, a U verb ending has an S, a he, she, or it verb ending is a T, and a they verb ending is an NT. And because of this, you can translate an English phrase, a verb phrase, with a single word in Latin. So they hurry out of the house, he hurries down the street. Villa contendunt, or festinant, viam contendit, or festinat. The important thing here is that they is indicated by the nt on the end of contendunt or festinat. Festinant, you can use either one, and he is identified by the t on contendit or festinat. I run into the arena, they are watching me. So in arenam curro, with the O ending telling you it's I, me spectant, with the NT ending telling me it's they. And just like in English, me, me, is the accusative case form of ego, I. You stand in the kitchen, she sees you and shouts. Inculina stas, with the S on the end of the verb telling you it's you. Te videt et clamat. Te being the accusative case of you, with the T on the end of videt and clamat telling you that it's she doing it. They wait in the forum, he walks into the forum. So for wait you want to use manet as the verb, whereas expectat means waits for someone, rather than just waits in general. So in forum manent, in forum ambulat, with the NT indicating they and the T indicating he. In foro is used for in the forum, but not entering or leaving, whereas in plus the accusative case forum is into. And this is a distinction that we've seen before, but it is pretty important. Next page is similar, giving you some more practice with different person verbs. I am sitting, you are sitting, she is sitting, they are sitting. Sedeo, with O indicating I, sedes, you, sedet, she, and sedent, they. I am calling, you are listening, he is running, they are walking. Woko, I am calling, with O for I, audis, S for you, currit, T for he, and ambulant, NT for they. I have a ship, you have a ring, so we're going to have some accusative cases for ship and ring. Nawem habeo, anulum habes, with O on habeo telling us it's I. S on habes telling us it's you. And it's very important to note that nouns have noun endings, verbs have verb endings, and a verb is not going to have an accusative case ending, or a noun's going to have a first person ending, because they belong to a different type of word. So make sure you know whether the word you're dealing with is a noun or a verb, and make sure you're putting the right endings on it. I watch a show, you also watch the show. Spectaculum spector, the O ending telling us it's I. Tu quoque spectaculum spectas, with the S ending for you. You have to have tu because quoque is emphasizing it. You can't skip that word. The next page is when we see perfect and imperfect tenses. Remember that for a perfect tense verb, it's going to be the simple past. Saw, did, ran, walked. Whereas the imperfect is going to be that unfinished type past. Was seeing, was hearing, was running, was walking. Something like that. He was walking to the gate. So was walking is that imperfect tense. So this sentence translates as ad portam ambulabat. Ambulabat with the BA for the imperfect tense. The T on the end tells you it's he, she, or it. And of course ad is always followed by the accusative case. So we have portam. They heard the uproar. This is going to be perfect tense because it's the simple past heard. Remember that the perfect tense has two endings that you've learned. It has it for he, she, or it, and it has erunt for they. So in this case we use the erunt ending, clamorem audiverunt, with the nt erunt ending telling you it's they. They were sitting in the amphitheatre. This is imperfect tense because they were sitting. And the answer is in amphitheatro sedebant, with the bunt ending telling us it's imperfect and the nt on that bunt ending telling us it's they. She watched the show. This is perfect tense because it's the simple past watched. Spectaculum spectavit. We're using that it ending, and the T on the end of that it ending tells us that's he, she, or it. The last page is similar. They were standing in the garden. And I apologize for any noise. So this is imperfect tense with an NT. In horto stabant, with BA for imperfect tense. Of course it's in the garden, not into the garden, so we have in horto, not in hortum. They prepared the dinner. This is perfect tense because it's the simple past. Prepared. They did it, so you're going to use the NT erunt ending. Cenam paraverunt. She hurried to the forum, and you'll need to use the fest hurried verb, because there are two verbs and one of them is perfect tense regular, the other one's perfect tense irregular, so we're using the V1. Ad forum festina wit, using the perfect tense because it's the simple past hurried, and that's got the it ending rather than the erunt ending, because it's she, third person singular. She was waiting for the merchants. So this is imperfect tense because she was waiting for them. and it's going to have the T ending because it's she, third person singular. Mercatores, that's accusative plural, merchants. Expectabant, should be expectabat. Fix that one up. Should be expectabat because it's she, third person singular. Apologies for that small mistake. Thank you for listening through to the end. Remember that you can redo this activity and rewatch this video. Thanks very much for listening, and make sure you send me any emails if you have questions.